Okay, so hello. Um, this is Kathleen Charles. I this is my presentation. Um, so although it may or may not, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna be very upfront and honest. It's not gonna be perfect at all. However, I wanted to share the logic of where I was coming from and how to piece it together. I know in my last video I was just at a loss for words. I really didn't know what I was doing and how to piece that together. So I know we had the option of either doing an arcade, a bank, or a storefront with the SQL and like the tables and whatnot and linking all those together. So I'll just go through it quickly and explain. So this is my website that I've made. I made it about a little while ago, a couple months ago actually, and I was trying to in a way, not necessarily reinvent the wheel. I was trying to change this to a PHP document so that I can push it through GitHub. But I don't know, there's something going on with VS Code because I'm still trying to push and commit all these things to my branch and to FileZilla and all these different things. Um, and GitHub, and it's nothing is coming up. So I was trying to just rework it and rewire it in a way where it's able to um, express what I was trying to express. So this is kind of in a way a storefront ish, but my main focus was that it was supposed to be a navigation system, so that when you want to look up certain stuff, you want to look up a certain style, it's there. And I know we were supposed to add in um, what's to call it? I know we were supposed to add in like a register.php, which works fine for um, my M1, but I was trying to relate that to this or relate that to a different project, but it just wasn't clicking. So I'll give you the logic that I had. My thoughts were to copy all of the M1 lib partials, SQL, all this stuff of home .php, index, login, etc. register. That was my logic. This was to make a new PHP file, and as you can see, I just changed the thing and added this to link the register.php to the HTML document. I was a little bit confused. I'm not sure if the whole thing was supposed to end in a PHP closing tag, but I put it in the beginning and I was just kind of just hoping for the best. Um, so that's what that is. I was hoping to, again, copy all this stuff because I will show you when I go to, it hopefully doesn't shut off on me. When I go to my M1 here, this is M1 and I was trying to relate M1 register and make it link into what I already had because working with the register and working with PHP, it was a little bit difficult to piece together and relate HTML or whatever or CSS. Like I know we worked with JavaScript before, but it was just trying to visualize how everything would flow and work together was a little bit challenging for me. So I was trying to take this M1 register PHP and link it back to, if you can see, because I have a contact information page. I was trying to link it to that so at least if it goes through, the code will be the same, the format will be the same, but it will be able to relate it to the database of SQL. So um, when I go over to M1 and the SQL and create a table, I was trying to be able to relate it to there. So, you can add your email, your password, XYZ, but it was just a little bit difficult for me. Because clearly if I try and add it here, it's just not going to come through. Like I said, this works fine. My register page works fine. The login page works fine. And I could give you a test to show you that the logic was there, but the execution wasn't. And I was just the idea came to me kind of late in the game, and I was just trying to piece it together and okay, I don't have to reinvent the wheel, and I don't have to, necessarily put that together or start all the way from scratch. I wanted to at least use what I have, use other resources, and trying to layer it so that it makes sense for me, but it just really wasn't making sense. So I wanted this register page, this flash messages.php, to be over here. I wanted it to be over here for contact information so that when you do enter your name, last name, email, etc., it will go into the database as it's described here, and it will go there. So if I go to database, if I go here, if I go to one of these, one of these tables, they're all kind of the same. If I go to these tables, actually, sorry, let me go to this table. Let me go to um, user ID. If I wanted to go here, I wanted to like see what it was like, and or sorry, no, I forget where exactly the tables are. Maybe it's under views, but oh, sorry, roles. Yeah, something like this. This is what should have like came up if I was storing information in the database. But that was the logic that I was trying to do, was just trying to layer everything together. But it just wasn't making sense. Like even when I was trying to work on M2 um, and copy and paste that, it wasn't making sense because I wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to function well. Being that we are coders and designers and trying to figure stuff out, I'm more of a visual person. So I wanted to be able to make sure that it looks pleasant for the user at best. So that's what I have. And I know like you can click on here, says file map thing, because I had images and whatnot beforehand. I had all these different things, but yeah, you can click on that. I wanted to be able, you can click on certain stuff and be able to see what it is and see like the tutorials and see like um, where it would bring you to. But yeah, that's pretty much the logic I had for this. I had all my style designs. I had all my my images. I had all the different things that I made beforehand. But for some reason, it just wasn't able to click. I added my footer, added my navigation nav bar, and I was just trying to like relate the PHP and JavaScript to this HTML and CSS instead of reinventing the wheel. So I just want to share my logic, and I hope that like I know it's not perfect in the slightest, but I hope that it kind of makes sense of where I was trying to like target and aim for. Even uploading to FileZilla was giving me issues because I can show you that right now. Even uploading to FileZilla was giving me a lot of problems because it wasn't under the correct directory. It wasn't under it wasn't under the right directory. It wasn't under the right host name. Like it was just a lot of things that were wrong. I hope this is not gonna mess up, but yeah. Let me at least show you what it is that I'm speaking of when it comes to FileZilla. So even when I went to my M3 files and I had to make a new repository because it was all under M2 and there was a whole bunch of things I was just trying to like figure out and make it make sense and make it actually look decent. So even when I file site manager connect, okay. So even when I was in my public HTML, and I'm not sure if it'll like show, but when I was in my public HTML, I hope that it will show because my goodness, um, it might go away the audio, but when I do click on my public HTML, let me go back because I don't want this video to end. Public HTML. I'll show you again. I'm in my public HTML. I had to make a new repository M3, not M3. It's under M2. Sorry. And then it's under M2 again. So I have to double click M2 again to show you, or M2 final, or one of those. But it really wasn't coming up at all. So I was just trying to like honestly make sense of it and make that correlation so that it makes sense. Because even when I here it doesn't come up. This is just a practice. The econ practice is what I first submitted because I just needed some YouTube help. But that's just what I have, and I hope that it like makes sense or my logic makes sense. And maybe my logic wasn't there, but I was just trying to layer everything and like make it a little bit easier for myself, but it really didn't make it easier for myself at all. So I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. I really did try my best to um, share what I had. I was really again hoping for this logic to be, under register.php and the design choices and everything would be the same, so that it could have a database. But there was a lot of issues with the connection. There was a lot of issues with making a new table. A lot of issues with making a new database. A lot of issues for me with um, trying to piece the logic together and make sense of the logic. So it was just a lot of issues for me, and I hope that uh, I can fix my issues, even though it's past the due date, it's past the time. But I just wanted to be able to just share my logic, share my point of view, where I was coming from, um, and just explain like what I was trying to do. Even though it didn't come out perfectly, but that's life. Sometimes things don't come out correctly, but the point is to at least make a little bit more sense of it or have a better logic of it. So that's my thing. So that's all I have really have to say. My name is Kathleen Charles again. Thank you so much.